What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Canucks News you might have missed, our series that we do on this channel, going over all the Vancouver Canucks news that happens. And it's the summer's basically almost over. The insiders are coming back. We have so much news to cover. I get them all in a nice condensed place, and we talk about it with my opinions as well. So welcome, everybody. Leave a like and a sub if you guys want to hear all the Vancouver Canucks news. It's going to start ramping up pretty significantly right now. Right off the bat, Rick Dhaliwal, one of the best insiders in the business. He mentioned that Kiefer Sherwood, basically, he went and got Jude and Wasserman, and he's an impending UFA now. So his contract situation is going to be very interesting. I think the Vancouver Canucks would want to keep him, but how much would it cost? Because he hits everything that moves. He's a damn good player, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do with him. So it's interesting with this new agent there. I'm going to be seeing or be focusing on this quite a bit moving forward. All right, next up, by the way, the Canucks, you want to get some pictures of them being back on the ice? Yeah, they are back on the ice. And there's some nice pictures there on Vancouver Canucks website, Twitter, so go check that out. All right, I found this funny from Chris Conte, the 2C third jersey. I don't know, I just thought I'd add it. It's pretty funny. All right, next up, we have Silovs in a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey. Oh, hurts a little bit, but the Artie party is over here in Abbey, but it's still going on in Pittsburgh. So, hey, man, I hope he does really well. So that's going to be interesting. So Ian Mcintyre has a great article on Quinn Hughes. Definitely go read and check that one out. It's really brilliant. Our man, our good friend of the channel, has been with us from the very beginning. Canucks News Summaries on Twitter. Go follow him, give him some love. He basically summarized everything with Quinn Hughes, talked about the Olympics training camp, the coaching changes, how Adam Foote, like especially the stuff about Adam Foote is really funny. He thought there was maybe a little bit more to the story with Tocchet leaving, mostly with the whole family situation. So that was really interesting on that read. He talked about like he's not gonna be able to sign a contract until next year. He's the captain. He wants to play at an elite level. People are looking up to him. He's really good friends with Garland and Besser, for example. And last year sucked, and it did suck for fans, for the players, for everybody. It sucked. Really was not good. But this year it's going to be better. I'm optimistic. Talked about Adam Foote a little bit there, which was great. And Elias Pettersson giving him some support. This is something where I hope Pettersson has a real big year this year. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, he just went on and talked about the season. Definitely go check that out. It's a great, great article. Thomas Drance actually just dropped himself an article at The Athletic, so give him some love too. And Drance, I'm going to go over this one in order because this is kind of like really juicy stuff for a lot of different topics. So, open roster slots, unusually large number of spots being left open for rookies and sophomores. We talked about this at length, that there's going to be a lot of opportunities, guys like Carlson and Sasson. It's and Baines and Ratu and even maybe Mueller. Like there's so many opportunities to get these guys to have some serious minutes. Philip Hronek understands is that he will remain on a pairing with Hughes. So you can kind of put them there. A lot of people had him there anyway, but something to talk about. Derek Forbert could end up in a rotation in and out of the lineup so young players can get in. We talked about this. So with DPD, being so good last year, I feel like he needs to be on that team. He's probably going to be on the right side as our number 6 defenseman, and you can have him kind of move to the left side anytime Forbert needs a little bit of a break. But Forbert is important because he's our number 1 penalty killer. So you definitely have to watch out for that and have him have an opportunity because like we can't lose all our penalty killers this year. You know what I mean? Like we lost quite a bit in this offseason. So it's important, like Suter, for example. All right, Arturs, coaching staff is very impressed by his play at the end of the last season. He may get a top 9 opportunity. He will get a top 9 opportunity. We are really hurting for centers, and he should be our 3rd or 4th line center this season. Elias Pettersson, the defender, DPD, called PD Jr. internally. I wouldn't call him Junior. That's fine. I like DPD. That's just how I like it, honestly. Expected to PK in training camp and expedition games. Exhibition games. You guys could what about Rick Dhaliwal now? Rick, go easy on me too, okay? The goal is for him to be a regular NHLer this season. Yes, he's one of our top prospects. He was a really good for us last year. DPD, man, that guy's I've talked about him so much in the channel. The guy's a monster. Carlson, he's a favorite of every Canucks coach and has the inside track on making the team. I'd be surprised he doesn't make it. He had a great run in Abbey, and he looked good for the Canucks in his time, especially last season. As for Baines, no longer waiver exempt. Enough regard around the league that there's a high likelihood of him getting claimed. Team is very high on him. He's going to get a shot, and he needs to have a big camp if he's going to make this team. But I just don't think he's going to make it. I think there's just guys a little bit ahead of him, but he's definitely one of those guys that has a serious shot of making this team. And it's going to be curious to see exactly how he goes out and does it. He's just going to need to put up a ton of points, physical, and he had a good run in Abbey. You know, he had a big goalless streak there, but then in the final, he lit it up. So it's going to be interesting how Baines does there. Now, Willander. Canucks believe he's ready to play in the NHL. The team expects him to win a job in the opening night lineup. He believes the Canucks will play more aggressively in the defensive zone. Tom Willander is an interesting one because, in my opinion, he should be on this team if it comes to well, okay, there's two ways of thinking about it, okay? Do we want the most talented guys or experienced guys? Like, what kind of a roster are we building? So, there's nothing wrong with putting him down in the AHL and letting him develop there. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But he's good enough, in my opinion, from what I've seen, to be in the NHL. So where do you put him? This is the whole kind of problem with it. I'm surprised we haven't made any trades. Still some time to get that second line center, and we'll probably have to move the defender. Because you have Mancini on that right side as well. You know, DPD can play both sides. It's the Tyler Myers still has another year after this. You know, he's eventually going to take that spot, but they want him on the team. They mentioned it many times. They want him to be on the Canucks team, and he's going to have a shot, right? Pierre-Olivier Joseph in a driver's seat to make the roster as the 8th defenseman. Just a steady guy. He's been around the league for a while, and he's done a good job. Lekher Mackey, they want to be patient with him. He's on the outside looking in. So, Lekher Mackey, sniper. He had an up and down year, I would say, last year. I think he needs more time to develop in the AHL. I believe that. I think he's going to go down. But again, there's so many spots and there's a lot of room. And when there's a lot of room where we don't really know, someone can sneak in, and we need top 6 talent. And he's a top 6 guy. Nils Mon, organizational depth, dark horse to make the team if he has to improve on his faceoffs. He's kind of slipped a little bit in the organizational depth. I think he's still okay, but I just don't see him making the team personally. That would be a surprise for me. He would have to have just a crazy cap. Sasson, he's waiver exempt, which most likely means he's not going to start in the NHL. Lacks strength and not great at faceoffs, which is not good if you want to be a center, but the Canucks don't view him as a center in the NHL. That's very interesting. I think he can be a little bit of a hybrid like Suter can be, but the guy's super fast, super talented. I think he has a shot to be in the NHL. If they don't see him as a center, well, that's fine. You can put him on the wing, but it does lower his kind of, I guess, organizational value if they just say he can't do it. Now you can always teach him how to do faceoffs. Put him with Malhotra for another year. I'm sure he can kind of help him out there, but that's something interesting. And Mancini, he's competing against Willander. He's competing against a lot of defensemen. Is waiver exempt, and he's better off getting big minutes in Abbotsford. So again, another guy with the whole waiver situation, and he's probably going to get big minutes in Abbotsford, and he will see some time this year. There's going to be injuries. There always is for the Canucks, and it's going to be interesting. So that's what we have for the Canucks news. A lot of news today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. All right? Take care, guys. Peace.